is fine day in California.
Huh?
Too.
Alrighty then. Hello, everybody. My name is Nick Phoenix, and welcome to the Friday Night Frenzy, where everything canon and the topics, they're more like a set of guidelines. Joining me is special guest, Eagle Rider, who is petting her pussy.
Well, she decided she wanted to climb up on me while you were doing the intro, so.
And as always, is the man with the comic that is currently burning up Indiegogo. How many stretch goals have you grown past now?
I gotta make new ones. We went through all three of them.
Probably have.
Yeah, yeah, I was surprised. I woke up this morning. I was like, "Holy crap!" We got them all.
You guys have been really super awesome supporting Chris' work. I've been telling you, man, he's got a great book. You know.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Hopefully, I can make it to book 10. You know, hopefully we can. Because God, could you imagine like a trade paperback with all 10 books? That thing will be a weapon. Yeah, it'll be the medieval tome.
it'll be like this thick.
Yeah, you ever see the Gummy Bears? Remember how they had that thing up on the lectern?
Oh my God, you need to have like a gigantic 3 foot by 4 foot big book hardcover, and just get a piece of plywood for the cover.
You need a crane to put it up, to have it delivered.
I check it out for little light reading.
Yeah. Man.
Please do that in the future. I that'll be like a $500 thing, but I will do it.
That'll be almost as well. No, that'll be the same price as a Nintendo Switch too.
And there's a $1,000 one which has a real emerald in the cover.
Oh God. Yeah. Get Russian jewelers to do all this the Fabergé styling to it.
Or you have it you have the jewel cut little studded in the Infinitel logo.
Oh jeez.
Oh, do you guys see what happens when nerds get rambling?
Yeah, we're gonna bling out my book in diamonds, yo.
It'll be $1,000, but it'll be worth it.
Yeah. Oh Lord. I'm sorry, nerd out moments just crack me up. They always do.
Oh, it is fine. But Chris, I just want to say I am very happy for your success.
Thanks. Yeah.
I have long since been saying that your stuff deserves to be seen, and it's just great to see it. Honestly.
Yeah, dude, I'm super grateful to the people that have shared their platform, allowed me to reach out, because as somebody that has an unproven product, even though I have this is the second book. I'm in indie, and we have been psyoped into being brand slaves, so we don't care about new and original things, and it's really hard to get past that barrier of apathy. But the amount of support that I've seen, it gives me hope, man. It gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah, and I am very, very happy for you. And it's really important to allow yourself to hope, because the main thesis of this is, as indies, we are just kind of incentivized to put our nose to the grindstone and just work, grind, put everything into it, and that leads to a lot of burnout. I've been in this game for about 5 years or so. I'm kind of an old man in the space, and I've seen people come and go. I've seen people come into the space. They're all bluster, Oh, we're gonna do it. I've literally platformed people, and they tell me, "Oh, this isn't how you do it," and then they barely get their book out, and then they disappear from the space.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
They burn out.
And the other thing is that once they get their hooks on you, you're not allowed to be human. You're not allowed to have reasons why you don't do things. But the moment you're not in the limelight for a few months, they ditch you.
Yeah, that's why for me, I've always been working on something, always working towards the next thing, always posting about the next thing. But that works for to a degree, but for me, it's always important to take breaks. I was streaming 5 days out of the week. I only really had 2 days a week myself, but it got to be too much, so I canceled the Monday stream because it was just getting to be like, you know, I was starting to feel that burnout, and it helped.
Yeah, it's hard to balance between when we're doing things indie, when we're doing things ourselves. There's so much more steps each of us has to do because there's not this big crew to do everything for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, if we push too hard, if we work too long or something, then we're going to burn out, and it's going to be. But if you take too much time, then people dissociate from you, and the fine line to walk when you're dealing with the indie sphere is really difficult, actually.
Yeah, it is, because like people expect stuff from you, and then obviously there's the drama angle, which I feel like recently it is a black hole. It is a black hole that wants to suck you in so badly.
Mm. Yeah.
And my best advice to people is avoid the drama at all costs. I do not take my advice sometimes, and I pay the price.
There's a reason there's a lot of topics that are forbidden on my channel, and it's not because I'm sensitive towards them. It's because I've learned that the people who want to talk about those things on your channel are not going to help your channel. They're not going to be there to support you, to promote you, to make things better for you. They're going to be there to stir up drama every place they can get.
Yeah, and indie comics definitely does have a real big crabs in the bucket problem.
Oh yeah,
like I've experienced it myself. I've been part of groups. You know, it's like, oh, we're just helping each other. But the minute, you know, I start to kind of drift away, oh, the tide turned real freaking quick.
The amount of people that quit caring about the work I was doing when I announced I was taking a few years off from a lot of it to deal with my family after my dad passed told me everything I needed to know about them.
Yeah.
I was like, there's a certain level where, yes, we want our projects done. Yes, we want to do all these things, but we got to humanize how we treat each other. We can't just dismiss each other's needs as humans because we want some like business model or, well, you're not joining these streams. Well, you're not a part of this. It's like, no, I don't have time for that shit.
You want to like take a quick pause and talk about this real quick? Because this is like, like, okay, this is a bit of a culture war stuff, but this is just so hilarious.
Yeah.
The meme is coming true.
Yeah. How's that feel? How's it feel being the other way around after what, a decade now, everything being blackwashed? Now we're like, whitewashing again.
Let's be honest. This is a stunt. This is a stunt by Marvel. But it's no different from all the other stunts Marvel has done.
Yeah. It's just like with the it's Disney. They love to rage bait. That's their marketing tactic, is to get people pissed off and bitching on social media.
I do find it very funny that now they're rage baiting the other side.
Yeah. Well, because there's no money. Like, you know.
How much do you want to bet they're going to do a comic where where Bobby is not gay anymore, or even North Star becomes straight?
Yeah.
It's funny, but at the same measure, are we stooping to their levels of trying to erase stories just to try to pander to attention and stuff? And that's where it's like, I get the funny aspect and stuff, but it's like, it's also really cringe.
Well, it is, but it's dead. Like, these properties are so dead that whatever they're doing now is just dragging this corpse through the street. So it's hilarious. It's like, you're not going to get back all the white people you scared off by blackwashing everything. All you're going to do is piss off all the, you know, the few black people that came and got the table scraps. They're like, wait a minute, the whole properties are dead. Everything's done.
I mean, it's very easy to win back your audience. Look at Marvel Rivals. You know,
yeah.
Like,
you see Token.
Wait, what about Token?
So there's a game called like Marvel Token or
Oh yeah, the new one by Arc System Works where
yes,
they make Ms. Marvel look cool.
Dude, they made Storm look freaking awesome. Like, she's gonna.
I mean, it's not that hard to make Storm look awesome. Like,
that is true, but like, I have seen some very bad designs for Storm because she's my favorite X-Men because I like elemental wizards and stuff.
Storm is awesome.
Yeah, and it's like about freaking time because she's been like an assist character in Marvel versus Capcom. It's about time they got her back in the main roster.
Having Storm as anything but a main character in anything has always been a joke to me because she's literally
she's
one of the
leader.
most popular.
Yeah, that's what pissed me off. Was she in the X-Men game? She was a main character, and then they're like, nope, she's now an assist character in the Marvel vs. Capcom.
All right.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, here's the trailer.
Yeah, freaking what's his face? Tony Stark looks like a freaking Kamen Rider.
Common Rider, but yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, Kamen Rider. Yeah. So I was talking to Americans earlier, so I have to some of the accents.
It's not the Cayman Islands; it's the Common Islands. But yeah,
look at that though.
Yeah, Arc System Works definitely does make some pretty games. I'll give you that.
Jesus, look at how good! Like they even made Ms. Marvel look desirable to play.
Also, you notice they're using her like her Inhumans power set, not like the glowy
gauntlet.
shit.
Yeah, but she's basically Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, which is
Or
fine.
Dawson. Yeah, yeah. Oh, they got Star-Lord. I didn't see Star-Lord. Holy crap! Damn.
Yeah, Star-Lord is basically treated like a pistol character in most games, and like Ghost Rider. I love how they made Ghost Rider.
Although those chains would have cut right through Star-Lord.
Yeah, it's like Hellfire chains, and then dude,
Oh yeah.
I can't wait for the DLC. Like imagine like
He just pulls out a pistol.
this guy stands on business.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at how gorgeous. Oh yeah, there she is.
There's our girl.
Oh my god. Dude, the cake shop is open.
Yes, and I want servings. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Well, that was one of the things I always heard going through a lot of this stuff is, and it goes back to who played Storm. You ever hear these guys go, well, I'd never date a black woman. It's like, yeah, give any of them the chance of people like Halle Berry or them and see what they think.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I know,
You know?
she was the it girl of the early 2000s, late 90s. Like,
God, hot as hell. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I can be a little envious at times.
It's like everything is a super move, well animated, but shit.
Yeah, well, it's like a versus game. Like I love the versus series, but yeah, if you're not here, the thing with the versus series, if you're not playing it, it is visual diarrhea. Like you're like, I have no idea what the hell's going on. But when you're playing it and you feel that like you pulled off that super move, it feels so damn good.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting because you know they'll do a fighter's pass. You know there's going to be DLC characters to this.
Yeah. Who do you think they'll add?
I think Daredevil. I think
Yeah. Daredevil, Wolverine.
Wolverine. Yeah.
I want Cyclops. Optic blast.
Cable. So that all the like, God, he's so broken in MV.
Yes.
MV2.
What about Bishop? I haven't seen him in a fighting game. Yeah, speaking of time travelers, you know.
Yeah.
Although he'd be overpowered because like his moves are derived from taking punishment. He's like Shaw.
Punisher.
Oh yeah, Frank Castle. Yeah, with mullet.
With the mullet. Reminds me of the early DBZ fighting games, Budokai.
Yeah, same people. Yeah, Arc Systems work. I was arguing that Street Fighter should have gone that route, like that cartoonish style, because I don't like the realistic designs of the Street Fighter characters.
Yeah, like the Street Fighter 4, they had something there with that art style they had, like the paintbrush blade. Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Yep.
Street Fighter, to me, the peak of it would have been if they could have actually incorporated the newer up quality graphics with the old animation style and kind of made it almost feel like you're playing the characters right out of Street Fighter 2 movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Arc System
Street
works.
Fighter the movie, the game.
No, God no.
Yeah, with Jean-Claude, goddammit.
No, I mean
no. Have you seen that
sexual awakening scene for so many men seeing Chun-Li in the shower animated? I mean,
well, you know okay, so I got in an argument with one of my friends about that because they're saying that was completely exploitative, and in my opinion, it wasn't.
it's a cartoon.
No, well, just from like the cheesecake, like I'm doing the fan service thing. My argument was that it showed Chun-Li at her most vulnerable, okay, and even in her most vulnerable state, she was able to whoop the shit out of Vega.
But
Okay,
took some damage too.
Rose, have you heard of Street Fighter Third Strike? That's the closest you're gonna get to like the true animation style.
That was so beautiful back in the day too. Like when the
Yeah.
technology was like, whoa.
Don't try to shell engage me, Bison.
See, I love that movie, and I loved the cartoon series that went with it. I love the Street Fighter stuff. That Street Fighter, yes.
Yeah,
Nerd girly.
I had a crush on Ming Na Wen back in the day, so yeah.
Yeah,
I gotta
hard
be
not to-
honest. I just like playing Zangief and beating the shit out of everybody. I mean,
I am the Red Cyclone.
Honestly, if there's one series I want Arc System Works to do with Capcom's, it is Darkstalkers. Imagine imagine like Arc System Works doing Darkstalkers.
Morrigan in that 2D. Yeah, wow,
Yes,
man. Yeah.
that does things to men.
Yeah. Well, they should do a Capcom All-Stars game and do it in that style because like you get the Street Fighter characters, you get Darkstalkers, you get what was that Robots game there where they had that one dude?
Well, the problem with Darkstalkers is like every 5 to 10 years they'll like bring out a Darkstalkers, like either the game or a collection. Be like, hey, if you want new Darkstalkers, here, buy the game, because they see it online and they do it like they test the waters every 5 to 10 years, and it never sells enough to do a new game.
I know, it's so heartbreaking. But like if they did like the Capcom All-Stars, they could even get in games that like, do you remember Warzard or Red Earth?
Rival schools.
Yeah, rival, like get all of that into one big like rumble.
Oh, you mean like what was that one Sega Saturn game that literally had the Cruis'n USA car as a fighter?
God.
Oh yeah, virtual fighter.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it was Fighters Mega Mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could play the Daytona.
Like, just, oh, gosh.
God, Saturn. I haven't played on that in forever.
It's an
Wow.
often overlooked system. It's a
Yeah,
shame.
well,
That was a great
I've
system.
said, basically from Sega CD through the Dreamcast, they were very overlooked for the quality of the machines.
All right.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
What the fuck?
Yogi Bear, you take that shit.
Only you.
Eat my honey pot, Yogi. I mean, I'm sorry. Only you can eat this honey. I mean,
Hey, boo boo.
I just like honestly, if we're gonna talk about like fighting games that need to come back, we need a new Bloody Roar.
Yes. That game was fun, dude. I had that for the PS2.
Rose, do you remember Bloody Roar?
I'm very, very vague.
It's like the ultimate furries fighter game.
It is like
Where-
the ultimate fur bait. In fact,
Yeah.
the Japanese name is Beasterizer.
Yeah. It's like when you translated the Mortal Kombat animalities, they call it bestialities.
Well, that would mean completely different things when you say
God.
finish them. Then I mean,
The new breed. Oh God.
finish them, right?
Breed 'em raw.
Oh God.
He's yiffing him.
Oh my God.
Wait, do they got the one where the chick turns into the rabbit?
And her name is Alice.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Hey, Wayne, did you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive when he dressed up like a girl bunny? Rabbit's got a rack.
Oh my God.
You know they'll put jiggle physics on that.
Talk about breeding like rabbits.
God,
I
it's like
hate
that Final
myself.
Fantasy. Remember that Final Fantasy 13
Well, again,
race?
that could completely change the title of Rabbit Stew.
Yeah. Made a mess on that ring.
Talking about raving some rabbits.
Yeah.
Ow!
Man.
Oh gosh.
We're terrible people, you know that, right?
What?
We're terrible people, you know that, right?
We are. The stream went so off the rails, but that's what happened.
Oh, come on, I'm the one who told him only you can eat this honey pot.
Yeah, so like we've been starting to get some game announcements. Like, what do you guys think of the James Bond trailer? I liked it.
I didn't watch it. I've never been a Bond person.
I don't like the race swapping, and I think making Bond high tech, like modern tech, kind of pull like Bond's best when he's fighting the Russians. You know, like modern day Bond just feels kind of weird. You know, that even like the Daniel Craig stuff to me was kind of a I don't know. It's hard. I don't know if I can put it to words right, but I like Bond as a period film or as a period project.
I do like Goldeneye because like Goldeneye is dealing with like that post like Soviet
Yeah.
era in the 90s. I think it works on that level. Like he's still fighting the Russians, but it's kind of like an epilogue almost kind of thing. Plus it kind of encapsulates a moment in time that we'll never get again, you know.
Yeah. That I think he's too young, and again they like race swap. Like he's literally the only white character in MI6 now. Like really, M is like a Indian woman, and like Money Penny's like this black chick. I'm like, come on, guys! Like, do we need to have T'Challa in here?
We don't do
Man.
that here.
Yeah, I will show you the way.
I will show you how to work.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
This
my
was-
ticks.
Oh, okay. That Mortal Kombat collection does interest me though. Like I actually
Yeah.
might pick that up for the Switch.
Yeah. Well, I already got them all emulated, but if I didn't, I would totally jump on that. That looks like a solid collection.
Yeah, like it had. Like also, I love the fact that I just have like the shitty Game Boy games just because I do.
Yeah, it's like oh, and by the way, we got some disk space or chip space left over. Let's chuck in some Game Boy.
Dick space? What? I mean,
God.
you're the one who
Yeah,
invited me on. It's your fault.
Yeah, and people can finally stop speculating about the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster.
oh, I'm looking forward to that, dude. That looks
This
awesome.
is- you're learning. I don't care. My mom's in the other room.
I mean, your mom's probably heard it all before. So.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Me and my mom did a stream together while I was staying with her after we lost Dad, which was 2 hours of me and her singing demented music and perverted songs together while making bad jokes.
You and me, baby, we ain't nothing but mammals, so let's.
Oh, we went through things like Masochism Tango and Irish Ballad and shit like that. Warped songs about murder, serial killers, and weird sexual fetishes.
Okay.
Happy June, everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to my upbringing, people. I mean,
Welcome to Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah.
Oh.
God.
I actually really am glad that there's like, if you look at Twitter, there actually is a good conversation about that, and and I do appreciate a lot of the female creators coming out and saying like, "Hey, we support men and whatnot." I feel seen.
I know.
what
Well,
have I been saying for years? It's like, why is it that we have so many women out there and so many in the fake manosphere side who act like
Oh,
the
God.
only way to acknowledge their mental health is to diminish the mental health issues and medical struggles on the other side? It's like, hello, we're all trying to get through this fucking shitstorm together. Sorry, language. We're all trying to get through this shitstorm together. Let's give each other some kindness because we're all struggling.
Well, we do kind of like
Sometimes the pearls do come before swine.
Girl literally is swine. Anyway, sorry.
I was trying to be coy about it.
I'm not.
well we have I would say probably for the last 30 years, maybe 20 years, the pendulum has swung so far in the misandry direction that it's kind of nice to see it starting to swing away from that. Because, like, honestly, like,
It,
into a
it
work
would be if
environment,
it was swinging towards sanity in the middle and not manosphere guys saying that
That's not how things
it's
work. Though.
good to
That's not
cheat
how
and
things
No,
shit.
but here's the thing: is like right now, like if I walked into work and said some horrifically misogynist shit, I would lose my job. But if a woman walked in and said the
Mhm.
same thing, but only misandrous, they'd either get a laugh or it'd be
Oh, I
like
know.
whatever.
They
I
literally
know,
do it
and
every
that
day.
that needs to end. And I've been and
Yeah,
Nick is extremely outspoken on men's mental health, male victims not having a voice, men needing better treatment in family courts, and all this. He knows I'm outspoken on this and been fighting
Yeah.
with the
Yep.
victims for 20 years. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I can't look at what's happening with a lot of these people and go, this is any better than the shit that these women did to men. And I can acknowledge the reason women went so far off this end is because there was an oppressive system against them for a long time. And I can
to the
acknowledge
70s.
that part of why a lot of these men are getting sucked into this is because they're feeling like they have no voice now. But the
Yeah.
thing is, we're not doing anything better. We're just repeating the same cycle towards the person who we feel is wrong.
I
Well, that's
totally
that's
understand why a lot
society.
of men. I totally understand why a lot of men gravitate towards people like Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah,
Same reason people gravitated towards Jordan Peterson in the 2010s is you're beaten down all your life, and here comes a person and be like, "Hey, you can be better. Just take responsibility or whatever." You know.
It's
well,
the
it's
same
the same
reason
thing
why
as
a lot
Gloria
of women.
Steinem.
I was actually going straight there. It's like the same reason why so many women got sucked in by Steinman and Ginsburg and all them, because there really was a horrible system they were fighting. And look, the last state bans and the federal ban against marital abuse sexually towards wives, it was only banned in the 90s officially.
Mhm.
So, I mean, some of this battle has happened in my lifetime. So I get that side of it. But we can't ignore men in this equation either. We can't make them the new victims, or we're just going to keep swinging the pendulum back and forth. And unless we're actually fighting for egalitarianism and acknowledging the places where both sides get shortchanged by society, we're not going to fix shit.
Yeah.
I don't want men to be treated the way that I was. I want them to be treated with the same dignity that I always wanted.
It's very easy to get a revenge mindset. Like, oh, women have treated me like shit for decades. I want to see them suffer, and it feels so good to see women suffer. No, I don't want that.
I was that girl for a while with men. It took me some bit to grow up, and I was that for a little while.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that, and I don't want anyone else to be that, because I know we can be better and treat each other better. We just got to stop listening to idiots like these hot, extreme third and fourth wave feminists, and we've got to stop listening to these manosphere psychos and start listening to people going, you know what, how about we just help each other?
Well, basically, I can tell you what we need to do. We need to have a conversation and acknowledge that, like being a woman can be messed up, and being a man can be messed up. That we all both have our issues. Same thing with being one race can have issues, and being another race can have issues. I'm conveniently sidestepping that line mine.
I can acknowledge that there are things that people who are white go through that culturally,
Conveniently
my native
trying to
family.
avoid that landmine.
Yeah, I'm saying this really, really gently and only the way you did. I can acknowledge completely. These people have struggles. My people didn't. My people have struggles. These people didn't. My gender has
And
struggles.
we're gonna walk
You don't.
away from that landmine.
Your gender has struggles.
Well,
I don't.
my thing is like, to me,
Mhm.
the past is irrelevant. The present is the only thing that matters. Sure, people have had disadvantages and advantages and all that stuff, but it's how you're handling it now that counts. Everything else is just superfluous.
Yes. And that's the thing is, and that's why I don't care what side people are on politically. I'm going to talk about the things that I see that I feel are injustices being done to people on all sides that are happening now. Not what happened in the 1800s. Not, oh, my family survived the Trail of Tears. Great.
Like
What
for
have I
example,
done to honor them for what they went through, right?
like for example, I'm of Irish descent. Do you see me decrying what happened to my people in the late 1800s and whatever?
Yeah.
To some degree, we need to talk more about that because the denial of what was done to the Irish is still way too common.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a bit beyond the
Because-
scope of this stream, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So much
Sorry,
for
I
burning
know.
out.
we all keep getting there. with that.
Any more, and we might be defending the bombing of Lord Mountbatten in the 80s.
Whoa.
So I'll
We're
just
not going
leave,
there.
I'll just leave it with this. Let's show each other compassion because we all have struggles and effed up shit.
Life
we deal with.
sucks. It doesn't matter who you are.
Mm.
Like we all each have our things that cause us with life. You know, like right now, the thing that's causing Chris the most problems is he's suffering from success.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I love how it's like, oh, where is he gonna go with this?
Well, you know, it's nice. Like, dude, like as a small, indie creator or whatever. Yeah, it's great success, but like, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. This isn't the 6-figure, Ethan Van Sciver frog book. You know,
Not yet.
Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I don't know if I'll even care to get to that level. You know what I mean?
Dude, here's
just
what I
cover
see in
my
your future.
expenses.
I see a collab with the ElfQuest creators.
Oh God, Wendy Peeney, man, that would be awesome. But I don't know.
She does a cover for Infinitale.
Oh geez, dude, I got some of her original work, man, hanging up on my wall. That'd be sweet, man.
Yeah, like, oh gosh. I think that's always something I would like. I love talking to fellow creators about like dream collaborators. You know, like for me, I've mentioned like people like Scott McDaniel. I'd love to work with. What are some other creators you'd love to work with, Chris?
Well, it broke my heart when I simultaneously got to meet one of my heroes virtually, and then I learned he was retiring, and that was Larry Elmore. Literally one of the the 4 kings of Dungeons and Dragons. Like, he did all the Dragonlance book covers and all that stuff. To me, he's the face of Dragonlance, and that he's partially responsible for me being literate.
Imagine
I judge the book by its cover.
Imagine if he had done a cover for an Infinitale.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if now that like I could have been like, dude, I'm gonna go. I can't donate a kidney. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna go rob a bank so that I could get a cover by Larry Elmore before he dies. You know?
Yeah. For me, one of the missed opportunities is George Perez, because New Teen Titans was like one of my foundational books, and oh gosh, I would sell a kidney to get a George Perez cover from my comic, like $10,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's passed on. Rose, what are some artists that you would love to collaborate with?
That's hard for me. I don't know, because I don't usually think of collabs. It's more like people I'd like to buy things off of. And honestly, most people I like collabing with are people I know. It's hard for me to see it that way, but I think if I actually had a choice, if I had somebody I could collab with just because I like the creative stuff he did, even though he's not an artist, it would be more like Don Chin and people like that who do parodies and comedy and stuff.
Oh, Don Chin is a really nice guy.
Don Chin is a sweetheart. I have had so many wonderful experiences talking to him.
He platformed me in my early career. Like he brought me onto some of his live streams to promote some of my earlier campaigns, and I am eternally grateful to him.
Yeah.
I grew up loving parody press. I always kind of felt it was kind of comics answer to Mel Brooks, in a way of speaking. It was always crazy. It was always wild. It was always over the top. And I loved that growing up. And then the first time I met him on a stream a few years ago was actually 3 days before my birthday stream party we were doing, where we were doing a mock pub crawl across multiple channels for a stream for like 8 hours, me, Anthony, Piper, and all them. And he literally joined the stream for like 6 hours, following around, trying to promote the Eagle Girl to everybody.
Oh,
Don.
That sounds like Don.
Yeah.
And he was such a sweetheart, and he's been so sweet every time I've talked to him since. He's such a sweetheart. And the thing is, he's one of the only people I could say where I've met somebody who was an icon to me growing up, who I think is genuinely as great as I built him up in my head as a kid.
That happened to me. So growing up, I was a huge Chuck Dixon fan. Like I always loved like his stuff, like his Nightwing run, like all of his comics. I'm a huge Chuck Dixon fan. And then I got to find
Valid.
and then I got the chance to meet him. And then he actually did. He actually let me bring him onto my channel for a live stream. And I'm friends with him on Facebook, and like he sometimes responds to my messages, and like he is like the nicest guy, and like oh my gosh, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. So when I do the trade for Screecher next year, what I would like to happen is I'm going to try and get Chuck Dixon to do a forward.
That would be cool if you could get it to happen.
I'm pretty sure he'll at least respond. Like I think at the very least he'll give me like a no or something. But gosh, the fact that like, because I mean anyone who knows, Screecher is very much kind of inspired by like Batman the series and also like the Chuck Dixon stuff. So having him do the forward would be amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Getting a
It's like
blessing from a legend.
One of the people I think has lived up to the hype in my head was actually, okay, I met him on a feed where me and him were trashing Elvira when she started going pro censorship.
Oh.
Literally, I met him trashing Elvira, telling her she's not the gothic queen she used to be and stuff. And we ended up refollowing each other. And then when I went through losing my dad and everything, he actually wrote out special messages of condolences for my family and had them sent from him and people he worked with that we looked up to. And that was Brian Hayner, guitar guy.
Who's that?
Papa Gates. Okay, he goes by Guitar Guy when he was working with Jeff Dunham.
Oh.
He also goes by Papa Gates because his son is one of the leaders of Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh.
And he actually befriended me on this stuff, and then he sent me all this stuff from him and several of the people he works with that me and my family loved, sending special condolences to the family for the funeral for Dad, and helping talk me through losing him.
That's got to be really wild when like you see somebody. All right, Chris, we gotcha. One of the ones that happened to me was who is familiar with Ron Wasserman?
Oh,
Sounds familiar. I don't know who he
He's
is.
he's a composer. He's
Okay.
done two themes that I know you've heard of.
Mhm. Oh, he did the X-Men?
And Power Rangers.
Nice.
So Ron is like the nicest guy. He's like just not somebody that I know. I actually consider him to be like an acquaintance kind of thing. Because like we met on like a live stream thing like almost 10 years ago. Gosh. I was part of this other like live stream people, and he brought on and like I remember he said he was a fan of Nirvana, and I was like yes. And so like me and him, we kind of bonded over like similar musical tastes, and like he's bought my comic. Ron owns Screecher Comics.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's wild. He's just been like such a great dude. And I can't say enough good things about him.
But I like hearing these stories when they happen because there's so many of these guys who the ego builds as they get all the people kissing their ass, or they just get sucked into it and they lose that side of themselves. It's so nice to hear about the good ones.
Yeah.
Another one I want to give a shout out to is Mike Barron. He is the nicest guy.
Which is kind of weird, considering he made the Punisher.
Literally, he made the Punisher. He does not get the credit for his iconic run in the '90s for like building up the Punisher like he did.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, and he's created one of the meanest bastards in comics.
I mean, to be fair, one of the people who plays online, one of the meanest people on earth, and one of the people who always plays villains, but everyone who ever has worked with him actually says he's one of the sweetest people ever, is Tim Curry. And look at the shit he says to people trolling people. Gordon Ramsay, too, big, huge heart. does all kinds
wow.
of charity stuff for troops, soldiers, all this stuff. Gives out things, all these things for families and stuff. Foul
Or like
mouth
Arlie
ass.
Ernie. Arlie Ernie. You know,
Mhm.
like
Oh
anyone,
yeah.
anyone who's seen Full Metal Jacket, you think like he's like hell personified. But like you see him in any other thing, he was like the nicest guy.
You must have been like the best grandfather ever.
You mentioned Ramsey, and I thought of one of the episodes of F Word when he was filming it a long time ago, where he was hunting these crabs off these cliffs over the oceanic waters, and he ended up falling off the cliffs.
Oh.
And they said they had to helicopter him out to get a medical treatment. And they said
Ooh.
he woke up on the stretcher as they were lifting him up to the helicopter, and he looked at the medic that was strapped to him, watching over him, and he just went, "I'm alive? My wife's going to kill me." And that was it.
That is like the most British reaction ever.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it's like, I love people who have a sense of humor about themselves. Because that's how you got to deal with life. Life's so
like, this is a bit, like politics aside. So remember, like when Reagan got shot, right before he was about to go under, he said to the operators, "Please tell me you guys are Republicans." Like just imagine you're about to operate on the president who just got shot, and he just says that right before it goes under.
Yeah, he had a sense of humor about everything.
Or even better, like afterwards, somebody was popping balloons, and he just said, "Miss me."
I mean, as much as I detest pretty much every politician we've had on both sides for a long time, one line I will give Bush credit for back during his administration is when he was sitting here talking about, and remember the things that we've been through. I remember last year when my ratings were through the floor and my vice president had just shot somebody, and for the good old days. It's like,
Oh, yeah,
Like,
Cheney.
people who didn't grow up in the 2000s do not remember Bushisms.
he
Like-
said so much stupid shit, but there are times he hit things in sentiment. I'm like, oh my God, that's funny.
Probably my favorite Bush clip was when somebody threw the shoe at him, and he just like ducked out of it. Like that dude was quick.
He's a spry target.
And as much as I detested a lot of the shit he did, I will give him one credit that I think the left should have given him more of. He is the only president in my lifetime who actually removed restrictions on native rights and actually opened us up to more freedom, and also restored a lot of land to natives.
Don't forget the do not call registry.
Yeah. So it's
Oh,
like, yeah,
God,
I have
yeah.
a lot of issues with a lot of shit he did. I do
Though,
think
to
he
be
is
told,
big, but
I
I gotta
think
give him
it's-
credit.
I think Bush's biggest lasting deficit, was No Child Left Behind.
Yeah, that was a cluster F.
Oh,
That
that
was,
destroyed the education system.
Yeah, we're still feeling the effects of that.
Yeah.
I amplified the destruction of the education system, which already sucked.
Yeah, I had a friend that was a teacher. She was my Spanish teacher. She quit teaching because of that. Because it's like the federal government overreached into the state level education, and it's like you're basically at a federal level dictating curriculum for state
And they
level.
were punishing teachers for kids failing, which means
Yeah.
you couldn't fail them, which means you now had to pass kids who didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, that's why we have
Not
illiterate
only
graduates.
that, but like instead of studying the topic, you study the test.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about getting
And we
tests.
already had too much issues with that anyways, where people were studying just to pass the test instead of trying to learn things. We already had too many issues with teachers being numb to students and passing them quickly without caring if they learned the lesson or not. Before that amplified it so much.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I dodged it because it was only through like K through 8th grade, and I would like the year that I went to 9th grade was the year they implemented No Child Left Behind. So like I was like the last class to dodge that bullet.
Yeesh.
I was the homeschooled nerd. The only time I wasn't homeschooled was a period in my history where I was going to a private school for Native kids. Yeah, we'll
Hopefully
leave
not
it
in
at that.
Canada. Hopefully not in Canada.
And the U.S. had just as many of them that were that bad. And neither country did they go defunct until after 2010.
I thought the ones in Canada didn't like all went like to like mid '90s.
No, some of those were still open until 2010. Not many, but some were.
Mm.
And it's like it wasn't a boarding school, so it didn't have some of that shit.
Mr. Hoodrin says, "But look at me now, Raven. Are you a Marine? Are you a Marine?" Because honestly, with your taste in crayons, you sound like a Marine to me.
But it's like No Child Left Behind was started in 2002, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
So when it was started while I was in Job Corps doing carpentry work and doing graduation, so I was past that shit at that point.
Yeah.
Thank God. I mean,
Yeah, I graduated in the 90s. My school system just didn't give a shit. Like, if you failed, if you were like the loser kid, they're like, well, somebody's got to be the janitor. I'm like, oh God. Like, yeah, the guidance counselors were worthless. Like,
remember
classes...
the parents trying to give you the McDonald's speech back when we were kids?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if you don't wise up, you're going to be stuck working for McDonald's.
I never was a big fan of shaming jobs. As long as people are working and paying bills, we should celebrate that. I think.
And yeah, as a kid, like we were like, oh, cool, the mailman, or oh, cool, the works at McDonald's, and now we're like, as adults, we're like, wow, what did they do wrong?
I mean, I'm not just because I know so many people.
I mean, mailmans are important. Somebody's got it. Somebody's got.
Also, some of those mailmen get paid actually pretty good.
Yeah, you work for the government. Yeah, you're set for life.
I have an uncle who worked as who may still work there. I haven't checked recently what he's been doing with work, but for a long time he was working the main mailman through this whole section of the smaller city. And when they had the whole budget cut crisis with the post office years ago, he gave up his vehicle and started walking his entire beat every day.
Oh.
So, I mean, there are actually hardworking people in every group.
Speaking of vehicles, you notice how they're just now starting to replace those old Grumman vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. I still see those old post office vehicles driving around sometimes, but I'm starting to see a lot of my local ones are starting to use more vans for this stuff.
I mean, technically, I live in a mid-sized city range because metro area is about 250,000 where I live.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still using a lot of the same vehicles they were using for the post office when we moved there 18 years ago.
Like the classic post office vehicle. I think that dates to the 70s or 80s or something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Fat Electrician video that details all about it. If you want to check that out.
So it's a lot of these places aren't updating very often. For how much money the post office gets, they really don't do shit with it.
Well, the problem with the post office, it's the same thing with the patent office, is they're like a quasi-government entity, and they make money on their own, but the government kind of siphons off a lot of the profits.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so that prevents a lot of these government entities from making improvements, because any money they do make, it just gets vacuumed up.
Well, yeah, there's too many, oh, wow. I don't know if you could hear that.
All I can hear right now is this purring in my ear.
Oh, God, I just saw the post. It's actually a cool shot.
Yeah, that's my my lock screen. It lit up. I'm like, what's going on? It's like,
Thunder rolls and the lightning strikes.
Yeah. I don't know. My sister works for a nonprofit, which is government funded or government subsidized. And she's begging and pleading. She works for mental health, basically. Tries to get the people that are not that are addicted to drugs and stuff off the streets, try to get them into livable areas and into vocational training and all this stuff. And it's there's no funding for that. And it's
well, the problem is they closed all the asylums in the 90s.
Well, how do you go from there's no funding for the mentally ill and all this stuff, okay, to sending hundreds of billions over to some foreign country for aid?
Well, why is it okay? And this even goes back to when I was a kid. When I was a kid, They removed the stuff for couples to have their own form of Job Corps where they could go as a couple or with a family. They cut funding to a lot of the Job Corps and stuff. Meanwhile, they were sending all this money to all these countries in the Middle East to play politics and change their system. It's like you have a system that actually genuinely helps people who are facing legal issues, who are extreme poverty, who are dropouts and other stuff, that actually helps them train in vocations, finish their high school diploma, and do all this stuff, and isn't a big cost because it's mostly funded by the projects the students are doing.
Mm.
Why was that the first thing they cut, as opposed to all this extreme waste?
Yeah, like the big beautiful bill there that just came out, and they're like, "Why is this thing more bacon than Bill?" You know, like we're passing bills. Yeah, I agree. But why aren't bills single issue? Like, why is that not like an amendment?
It's because it's easier to look at the classic. Oh, here's a bill, flags for orphans. You know, and it's like attached to that bill is like a $300 million thing for like something.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you don't want orphans to have flags? What are you like?
Yeah,
evil?
that should be illegal.
They stick all this pork on all these bills, then they
Yep.
name the bill after one thing in it that almost everyone should agree on. And if you don't vote for it, they paint you as a bigot who doesn't care about those people that need this.
Yep. And honestly, like, why are we not doing one issue bills? Like, I understand that there's corruption involved, but it's like we all know it. It's like an open secret now. It's like, guys, cut the crap. Like, put term limits on Congress and you know all that crap, and make one issue bills.
Like,
Boom.
honestly,
Nothing
I'm just
problems
gonna say
start
that
going
right now. The only way we're gonna get term limits, or even like a balanced budget, is if we Article 5 that shit.
Yeah, those roots of the tree of liberty.
No, so Article 5 are if 2/3 of the state call for a constitutional convention, one is
Yep.
held. It's a way to bypass Congress.
Yep.
Because like I was going to college in the 2010s, and like the balanced budget amendment that was getting some traction. Like to mandate that Congress balance the budget.
Yeah. Well, the problem is we don't have a government anymore. We have an aristocracy. But like, if we tried to enact Article 5, like the state riled, you know, suddenly we'd have all these federal sanctions. Oh, they're withholding federal funds, or they're doing this or that. There would be punitive measures against the state trying to bypass our corrupt government.
Yeah, oh gosh, like I remember the fear mongering. Like I was debating this person I was living with, and they could throw out the entire Constitution if they wanted. No, they couldn't. For one thing, you can mandate that your representative can only vote on certain issues first and foremost, and also anything they propose has to be ratified by 2/3 of the state. So you do the whole song and dance and get the Constitutional Convention. You could have,
but you're not getting rid of most of the amendments.
Ratify something.
Mm-hmm.
But then that still has to pass by 2/3 of the state. So it's like a 3-step process that each step is really hard to do.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's by design, really. But
it is. It's what is it? Convolution? No, obfuscation through convolution. They make things unnecessarily complicated because they don't want it to ever like function.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to like a constitutional amendment, I'd rather it be complicated. To be fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
It should be difficult. It should be hard to do. It should be hard to change without really proving that this is in the best interest of everybody's rights and that this is the will of the people.
Well, that, and we don't live in a democracy, and it's frustrating when I hear like government officials pushing that propaganda. Oh, it's our democracy.
I think we're technically like a constitutional republic or something.
Constitutional republic, which is also considered to be a constitutional democracy and republic, are borderlines of the same. We're kind of in between with the way our laws.
Okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
Republic.
Chris, my allegiance is to the republic, to democracy. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
No, it's just. Well, like even
we are defined as a constitutional republic, and we have traits of constitutional democracy.
Well, the reason why we never went democracy is because of what the Greeks.
For a reason.
Well,
because
the Greeks,
it doesn't
when they
give rights to the people; it gives rights to the majority.
No, Well, democracy is mob rule. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
five
literally what I
five
said.
wolves and one sheep talking about how they want to eat mutton. You know, it's like
I mean, to be fair, if you look at how the concepts were originally designed, it was only for white landowners. Like, it was very narrow.
Actually,
Who could vote?
landowner. It was never defined racially until later.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
the landowners and the early voters did include minorities and women. That was revoked in the mid 1800s.
Well, it's kind of like who was the first slave owner in the United States? Wasn't a
Black
white guy.
Legal,
Yeah.
well, legal slave owner, because they were here
That's
the
true.
entire time. But the first one that was legally granted that right
Yeah.
was actually a black man
Recognized.
who was trying to own another black man.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
And
not go that. Let's not go in that direction, please.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just when we, you know what I mean, like there's no racial element to that where it's now added. It's like what Rose was saying, like years later suddenly they applied that to it, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
no, like our founding fathers never once mentioned you know, actually no, I take that back. There are some references, but it wasn't.
There's
in, I think-
3/5 a person. There's a 3/5 a person thing.
Which was
Yeah.
actually done to try to stop slave owners from voting for the slaves to help instigate slavery against them.
But also, it's like population because the North was more populated. But if you included the slaves in the Southern states, they'd be more populated. So let's say
Yep.
you get more
They
representatives.
would, but also
So
it
for the
counted-
purpose of counting representatives, they counted as 3/5 of
Yeah.
a person.
Yep.
and it was also literally because under the legal system they had at the time, somebody who owned a slave could legally cast a vote for that slave, which has all
Which-
kinds of moral and legal issues.
Yeah, it's like I get 2 votes because I own someone. Yeah.
Or like the
That-
big
that-
ones,
that's
like
pretty
I
good
got
as well,
500
big
votes.
reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got a whole plantation of voters that your neighbors couldn't do because they don't own slaves. So it's like, how is your vote more important than mine?
Exactly, which we're still having problems with now today with these nurses and these staff and admins at nursing homes voting for the elderly who and not
Yes,
Yeah. Or
I saw videos of that.
or just like Democrat and like this is not a Republican or Democratic problem. This is like both sides do this kind of
Yep.
stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
Like they'll go to nursing homes and like you'll have Granny Smith who has Alzheimer's so badly. Just the first person you say do you want to vote for X or Y? X. I want to vote for X. You know, they don't know what they're doing. They're just doing what you tell them to do.
Well,
Because
why
of
do
the,
we impose?
legal status, they get the votes sent to them because they can't always travel, which is valid. But what you get is a lot of these admins in these places will never give it to these people. They know they have memory
Yep.
issues anyways. They'll just tell them later they
Yep.
got it and they forgot. They won't give it to them and they'll fill it out for them and send it back so they get extra votes.
Well, here's my question: why do we have?
By
an
the way,
age
that's
limit
called ballot
on-
harvesting.
Yeah. Why do we have an age limit on when you can vote? Meaning that you have to be old enough to vote. Why can't we also say, look, if you're under the stewardship of another person, because it's the same in reverse, If it's
That's borderline because there's plenty of places where there's stewardship where you're disabled under healthcare and stuff where you're still clear enough mind you still have that.
but you're
status.
not putting into the system anymore. Like if you're living in an assisted living facility,
Well, at that point, you
You're-
could say nobody disabled has any right to vote if they can't work a normal job. That would also include taking me out of that system, and I don't take from anybody.
well, that's the thing is
So it's
like the vote,
I-
like you see what I'm trying to get though, is it's like, why do people who are not putting in given the same, what I mean? Like we're already precluding kids. Why? Like why stop
the
at kids?
disabled
You
are
know
not
what I
the
mean?
same as children in that regard.
But when they got Alzheimer's, they
I
don't even know
know
what
why
planet
some
they're on.
people have that, and why.
Okay. I'm gonna step in here. No, I'm gonna step in here. I think the problem is I think, and Chris, correct me if I'm wrong here. You're saying like from a mental deficiency standpoint.
Yeah, if we're precluding kids because they're not mature enough or they lack the mental faculties to understand what they're doing. It's just like with cigarettes or getting tattoos.
It's not just because they're disabled; it's because they don't lack the mental facilities. Like for example, I'm on disability myself, but I'm mentally stuff. Rose is mentally, it has all our faculties, but like somebody who doesn't know what day it is, or
they're a vegetable, or
Well, what I was saying is that there's borderline issues with that, especially with HIPAA laws and protection of privacy and stuff like that. Where I understand the argument for if they literally can't remember, they don't know what they're doing. But at the same time, it's also this borderline where it could be opening up the government to pry into people's private medical and other shit that could be really dangerous.
But at the same time, there are millions of people who have obvious mental health issues, like dementia, Alzheimer's, who very clearly should not be voting, who shouldn't be voting. I get the gray area, but there's a lot of people who are objectively are not in the right mental capacity.
Well, it's like with
that's why I said
driver's licenses.
it's
Like,
borderline, and that should be something we'd have to really look into how we would handle those situations because
Fine, put the line pretty high.
Are protected.
No,
Like
just
you
like
want to
driver's
borderline
license.
people, that's fine. But the thing is, they're people who are obviously mentally deficient. I get the borderline cases, judge them on a case by case basis, but there are lots of people, and this is kind of where we're talking about here, who should not be voting.
Yeah, well, this
I'm
is
not
where
saying- okay.
I'm trying to say the thing.
Like it's
about
not
the
an age
driver's license.
issue. Like you're telling me Dick Van Dyke
Mhm.
shouldn't vote. The guy's 95 and he's probably
Yeah,
sharper than all
More
of us.
coherent. Yeah,
He's a
But-
liberal
but, like,
nutcase, but he's
here-
smart. You know?
Here's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think you should apply for a voting license. I think that if you should be you should be pushed through civics. You should understand the candidates, and you should be understanding of how the political process works
I think
in order for you
That
to
can
vote.
be corrupted way
That's
too easily. We saw that in the
really too easy
50s.
for.
It's
The
a
reason I was
driver's
saying
license.
One sec. Let me try and finish the point I was trying to make before, because we're all kind of emotional on this. But I think I have a point
No, I'm
that's
not.
valid here
I'm not emotional.
that I want to explain real quick. I'm not saying emotional isn't that, okay? But it's like we all have
It's
passion
very
on this. Is what I'm saying. But what I was saying is, it's so dangerous when you start playing with who qualifies as good enough to be able to or not, because it's so easy to corrupt. And this is the same reason why he was saying licensing and stuff like that. There's this argument for it. There's obviously cases where people do not have the facilities to do this, but it is such a dangerous, slippery slope to on any laws like
But
that.
it's already
it's-
that.
What? Please, that it leads us to a position where if we give them this, it's one more place we give them where they can literally say, we're going to access your medical records and determine if we think you're good enough to have a right to speak and have a voice.
But they
Yeah.
do that with your driver's license. So what's the difference?
Driver's license isn't your right to vote and have a
It's
voice
your
in
livelihood.
your laws. That's not always true.
I mean,
And it's
No,
not-
but neither is.
it depends on where
Yeah.
you live. Like there's people in New York who never get like Tony Bennett never had a driver's license in his entire life.
Yeah.
And-
Well.
Driving is technically, under the way the constitutional laws are defined, a privilege, whereas voting is actually a right that's only supposed to be able to be lost if you actually do something to violate it, like voting where you're not legal to,
Well,
like
that's-
stealing votes, like stuff like that. They are
That's the
not
problem.
legally classified the same, and they honestly, I don't believe they should be.
Well, that's the problem, though, is we are treating it like a right and not a privilege. Like we live in a civilization.
I
Voting
come at
is a
this,
right.
privilege.
I come
Driving
at this
isn't.
like in my opinion, giving the government any power is a bad idea. Like that.
I don't
that's
think
my
it's-
position.
I don't think it's giving the government power, though. I think what it's doing
It
is
is.
it,
It's giving them the power to decide who gets the vote and who doesn't. Like,
but they're
what-
already doing that, dude. Look at all the people that are mentally incompetent. They're getting votes made on their behalf, and they have no say in it because they're out of the tree.
But I'm like I said, I'm fine with the obvious cases. Like
Yeah.
the people who
And we need to define that.
Define it, sure. But the problem is I'm also with Rose here, where like there comes a point where you start to get so like a lot of more the gray area, the edge cases. I didn't when I started the stream, I did not realize
Yeah,
moderating a
No, I
debate.
don't usually
No,
go
no,
into this stuff
but
either.
here's the thing I'm trying to say is like you're agreeing with me that there are vegetables that shouldn't be voting that are voting, okay?
Yes.
In order to define what a vegetable is, you need to have legal definitions and you need to be able to enforce that. How do you do that without defining some type of legal intervention?
I get that, but then you started talking about like voters' licenses, and that's where you kind of lost me.
Yeah, well, what else is there? Like, what else can like? Is it just hearsay? You're like, yeah, that dude's crazy. Like, he can't vote. No, we need to have a clinical.
Well, there's a term called being mentally incompetent.
Mhm.
Um,
and
like that
how
is
is
a
that
legal term.
enforced? But like, where is that recorded? You know what I mean? Like when I go to register to vote, how is that recorded?
If a person, like you could have it to where if a person is declared mentally incompetent, they can't vote. I don't know.
But you need to go to a judge, a legal place, to become declared mentally incompetent, and therefore,
you do now too.
Yeah,
But again, what I'm saying is, under the way current HIPAA laws are, even with that, they're not allowed to share that beyond that specific court. So we would have to tread this extremely carefully, not to violate anyone else's rights or even violate their actual medical conditions. Just know that they are considered unable to think for themselves or care for themselves. And that's why I said it. I can understand that, but the way the government is, the way they write laws, the way they do things, I can see it.
You basically have to invent a whole new status, like a whole new personal status kind of thing.
Well, you would need to. It's one of those things where if you're going to be able to vote, and the only way you can vote is if you're, not declared. It's like a double negative here, but like if you don't have the, mental incompetence label or whatever. The problem though is that violates HIPAA. It's like what Rose was saying. Like there is no legal. You cannot transcend. Like, how do I explain this? You cannot go beyond a court ruling with mental incompetence. Court like DPOA, deputized power of attorney or whatever. That is strictly through a single court, like a single judge.
And oftentimes the people with power of attorney, they vote on their behalf.
Yeah, which again, and that means you're giving.
That's
that
where I think it shouldn't be allowed. If you're literally fully under somebody's power of attorney with no actual voice of your own, there should not be being votes cast for you because you're obviously not casting them. That's where I think we agree.
But the DPOA is a result of being declared mentally incompetent, which means it violates the HIPAA law by now making it a nationally recognized function. It's now a legalized function that a court or whatever can look at. That's not the original court that defined the DPOA and be like, look, you are mentally incompetent. You cannot, your vote is gone. And the person that has control over you or has the power of attorney over you is now your custodian who only has his vote or her vote.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like, it's such a spaghetti that the moment you move into enforcement, you start violating people's rights.
And that's a problem with a lot of the issues we face. Like, people like to try and boil things down to like simple solutions, whatever. But it's like a complicated ball of yarn. Like, you pull one thread, you instantly pull 5 others.
Yeah, it's like,
for me, I have ADHD and learning disability, so it's a little hard for me to understand politics. So I try to get to someone to explain it to me. I mean, that's fair. Like, Hooded Raven, I wouldn't say you're incapable. Like, I based off of the way you describe it, it sounds like you do at least have the mental facilities to know, okay, if I understand the issue, I vote, then if I don't. I think people like Hooded Raven should be allowed to vote.
Yeah, well, it's
the
honestly,
big thing I think we need to remove is down party voting, where you can click a button and it automatically votes all one party for you or shit.
Well, my biggest complaint is why we have social studies instead of civics. We have
having both.
And social studies is just history class anyway.
It is. Yeah. It is. But we've taken out education of the government. You talk to any random person on the street and name them the 3 branches, ask them to name the 3 branches of the government, they'll get stumped.
The problem with trying to introduce
it's already after. I gotta get going.
Oh.
Take care.
All right. So the problem with like trying to introduce civics into a modern classroom is you just know they're just going to call it American propaganda.
Yeah, well, I honestly at this point with all the Marxism in there, good. Like, I don't care if it's American. Like, we need more jingoism because I am so goddamn tired of people not voting for the home team anymore. Get out of the stadium.
This is the problem I have. Like, try and have your average American citizen try and take the citizenship test. I think
a lot of them would fail.
Like, this is why I have a lot of respect for naturalized citizens. Yeah. Like, they put in the hard work. Like, they're probably more proud of the country than we are, almost.
I have I was picking the brains of a coworker who has a doctorate in computer science. He's from I want to say he's from Nepal. And guy's a genius, absolute genius. Took him 15 years to get into this country legally. all this crap. You want to hear somebody go on a tirade about illegal aliens and all the crap. You listen to this guy, and you'd swear they'd be like, "Oh, he's far right." Blah blah blah. No, he's a dude who went through the system legally, and how much of a pain it was.
Yeah, this is why the left has abandoned Hispanics, because like Hispanics are like our base as fuck. I just like you ask a Hispanic who either they're naturalized or they've been in the country, like they a lot of them they hate the legal immigrants because they're jumping in line. They're cutting in line.
Yeah, they're cutting in line, and not only that, but like you have to provide a value to this country and to be naturalized. Like, what are you offering this country? And these people are like just detriments, and it's like, wait a minute. So not only did I have to, what's up?
I literally have the history and government questions for naturalization.
Oh boy!
All right, what is the supreme? Oh, actually, I should probably just. All right, I'm gonna ask you these questions, and I need you to answer it.
No, I'm not taking the test. I'll probably fail. I don't care.
What is the supreme law of the land?
Obviously, it's the Constitution.
What does the Constitution do?
It protects the people from the government.
Sets up the government, defines the government, protects the basic right of freedom.
Yeah.
The idea of self-governance is the first three words of the Constitution. What are those words?
We the people.
What is an amendment?
An amendment to the Constitution.
It's a change to the Constitution or an addition to the Constitution.
Well, same thing, yeah.
What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
Bill of Rights.
Yes. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment?
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like it's pretty basic, but at the same time, he's like, that sounds kind of fun. It would be interesting to try out citizenship would fail. All right, I had it, but I think I lost it.
Yeah, dude, this is all stuff that you were taught in civics class.
Hey, Lethal Nonsense, how you doing, buddy?
Hey. Yeah.
I'm not opposed to bring back civics. I'm not opposed to it. Because
it's education. Like your voters will vote better if they're educated on a situation.
Like I remember taking an American government class in community college. And I feel like that should be like high school, middle school kind of stuff. Like I learned a lot in that class. The guy was a great teacher. He taught me about how government works and whatnot, about like states versus whatever. He says, great, it's been a while. Yes, it has been a while, Lethal Nonsense. We have missed you. Oh gosh. But yeah, so we were supposed to do like mental health, but as things happen, they went astray. But yeah, we've been getting some game announcements apparently because like Summer Game Fest is going on. Let's see here. Got Resident Evil Requiem, Sonic Crossworlds look interesting. I'm just scrolling like Wario64's feed right now. But honestly, like, kind of gives me hope. Like, we're actually kind of starting to get some interesting games.
Yeah, I'm stoked for the Sega revival collections. Like, Revenge of Shinobi is getting, or it's a new Shinobi game with Joe Musashi from the original.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That looked really cool. It's getting like animated kind of.
Yeah. That and they're trying to do a 3D Golden Axe, and it's like, guys, don't.
They've tried that. Apparently, they're doing a new Scott Pilgrim game. I really
is he going to be removed like the new series? God.
They're doing a Deadpool VR. Let's see here. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny. Mafia: The Old Country. Chrono Odyssey. It's not a Chrono Trigger. Yeah.
That's a missed opportunity.
Oh God. Oh gosh. I have to show this. So I guess they're doing Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Wait. I'm trying to figure out where. There we go. Let's see here. I like to sleep in history class in high school. Teacher talked real slow. Yeah, lethal nonsense. Make sure you sub to the channel. Give us a like if you can. We stream on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. Those are the streaming days. But I have to show you this. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ugh, we're getting some abs. So yeah, it's like a kind of a beat 'em up kind of thing. Like this looks kind of good.
Welcome to die. Man.
This looks kind of interesting, I gotta say. Thank you, Lethal Nonsense. I do have memberships as well. That gets access to like the Minecraft server and a bunch of other exclusive stuff. So that's like $5 if you want to, but you don't have to. Oh gosh.
Wait, is that Captain Atom or whatever? Looks like a chick now.
Ew, abs. I don't know. Like, I actually do kind of like some like chicks with abs. Like some women can make it work.
Yeah, I got a friend that's like totally into the muscle mommy fetish, and I'm like, I'm not gonna dig
that is
him
such a psyop. It is such a psyop.
It's his kink, whatever. You know, I ain't gonna shame him. You know, everybody's got. You know, I'm not paying his bills. I don't care. But like, I see these like horrendously muscular women that look like guys, and they have very deep voices from the steroids, and it's like you compare that to like a Miss Fitness model. You know, like the fitness model women, and it's like the fitness model women have like the, you know, they got the linear elbow, like the
Laura Croft, the Laura Croft. I prefer, like, if I'm gonna have like an athletic woman, I prefer like the Laura Croft build.
Yeah, like she's got some muscle, but like she's still got femininity versus these like yoked out of their tree women that are basically just men without schlongs. Like, you know, it's like,
honestly, Lethal Nonsense, I'm kind of in that same boat. I do like a bit of a curvy girl, like some cushion for the pushing. I do like some thick thighs.
I heard they save lives.
And they save lots of lives. I don't know. Just it's nice just to, you know, kind of lay your head on them, you know. And usually they got, you know, some bigger cat. Gosh. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
Yeah, horny jail.
Yeah, take me there, officer.
Yeah. I've seen this movie. I know what happens in the.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer a girl who looks like she enjoys a cheeseburger every now and then.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm Asian, so it's kind of, I kind of have a smaller frame bias, and it's odd because I'm like not really into Asian chicks. Like apparently a lot of white guys are like seriously fetishized.
Yellow
like,
fever.
It's so weird, dude. It's like even like a mid Asian girl, they're like, oh, I'm like, really, dude? Like,
I think a lot of it is because American women like are so far gone, and Asian women still like do a lot of the feminines, like are very more feminine. It's also why a lot of men tend to go after like Eastern European women or like the Russian women, because like they're still very feminine. Like, yeah. I'm just gonna tell you right now, I could go for a good Polish woman.
You give her your sausage?
I give her my bratwurst.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, it just, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I
guess you're rising to the occasion.
Yeah,
you're really rising to the occasion.
Yeah, that's my coworker who's going on holiday or vacation and telling me, "Hey, here's a bunch of stuff you need to do." But yeah, I don't know. Like I've seen women of various ethnicities that I'm attracted to. It's really weird because it's like,
yeah, like we were talking about like black girls looking hot. Like, yeah, like honestly,
hey.
Honestly, Keely, we're kind of gooning right now.
Yeah, bring out the ducks, Keely.
Yeah. But like the actress who is like Missandei on Game of Thrones. Oh, she is.
Oh yeah.
She was also in Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I'd like to.
She's got a. Yeah. She...
I'd like her to shift me into second gear. God damn you, Nick. But look at her though. She's like cute as hell.
Yeah. Especially when they were that introduction scene where she was naked.
Oh yeah. He's got these. Where are the black women at?
Yeah, get some Jade Cargill up in here. You just want to see a muscular that. Seriously, I don't know why they don't cast her as Storm. She did this like Storm cosplay.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have to do this. Hello, nurse. Oh
yeah,
like,
she did Jade.
Honestly, okay, I just gotta say, honestly, if there's any race that is more fetishized than Asians, it's Latinas.
Oh yeah, thank you, J-Lo. You remember that in the you were alive in the 90s, right? Like,
yes, I was.
Yeah, the mid to late 90s when J-Lo and the Latino revolution happened. Like it was like I learned Spanish because of Univision. I didn't speak it. I learned it because of all the hot chicks on there. I had a crush on Talia, one of the actresses.
So apparently this is what people are pretty sure this is the actress for Lucia.
Oh.
GT6. And yeah, they did good.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the footage of her and I'm like, damn, that chick's wait, that's CG? Damn.
Like, did you see for the trailer the most rewound moment is like the ass shot? Oh gosh. All right, I have to pull oh yeah, she's got that Pixar booty.
Yeah, what is it? Pixar moms with their dump truck ass?
Yeah. Gosh. All right. I gotta look up the GTA 6 trailer just so we can like marvel at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they got a hot Latina in GTA 6 with all the woke shit that's going on there. It's like, wow, you got attractive people in your game. What is this?
All right, so I'm muting it because it has like a licensed song in it. All right.
I like how she's all jumping as bones half the freaking trailer.
Yeah. Like even like dressed down, she still looks hot.
Yeah. God, those dairy cannons are just poking out of there.
Like, yeah, they're rolling around. Gosh. Oh, I wish I was Jason right now.
Yeah.
We'll get to this in a second. We're admiring the scenery right now.
Yeah. Está muy caliente.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
The cake shop's open.
I gotta salute that ass. Oh goddamn! I love that woman.
Damn.
Oh gosh, and it's not just her. Like I even though like I'm straight, I do appreciate they made Jason hot as well for the women.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like everybody's sexy. Who's gonna complain now? You know, I'm sure somebody will be like, oh, it's not representative of fat people. It's like, I saw the trailer. I saw those, you know, the 300 pounders on the beach. They're all here. They're just not playable because you couldn't play as a 300 pounder running around like Jason or Lucia.
Yeah. And I do like that they made Lucia like a boxer, kickboxer kind of thing to kind of explain why she's athletic as she is, which, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. They don't... Lack of Ass Effect Legendary Edition. No. That is an inaccurate title. It's actually Lack of Ass Effect, Not So Legendary Edition.
Oh, yeah. I heard they like... I'm glad I have the original disc still because the Miranda part where the dialogue freezes on her butt cheeks. They completely
There's like so many ass shots in those games.
Yeah, dude,
they took out an Ash. They took out her Ash.
Well, that game, was it Mass Effect 3, I think it was so like gooned up that I ended up banging Jessica Chobot, and I wasn't even trying to. I'm like, wait, what's going on here?
And it's like in Baldur's Gate 3. It's like you don't even try. It's like, I must have sex with you.
Yeah. Roll versus initiative or whatever. Like,
Roll
yeah.
for persuasion. I got
Yeah.
it too. They jumped
You
on your
won!
phones anyway.
Yeah. You needed to get a 0. Wait, what?
I actually at the Legendary Edition, like I think I played like the PS3 version of Mass Effect. That was pretty fun. But yeah, Legendary is actually pretty fun. Oh gosh, imagine if there was an alligator wrestling mission. So all right, so let's see here. I have been kind of getting back into a game. Chris, I gotta ask you. Did you do any work on Assassin's Creed 4?
Black Flag?
Yeah.
No. Black Flag was actually coming out the same time as what we were working on, and we ended up cross-pollinating with some of the UI and stuff. But no, that actually released midway through development of what we were working on, and the one that they were working on that was in conjunction with us was the French Revolution one, Unity.
Unity. Oh god, that thing was a
No, dude, they like the whole narrative team got like ousted. Like I told you about that, right? Like the whole like yeah, it was a big power thing, and they basically the game was originally supposed to be the story of Desmond. Like Desmond was the hero.
Yeah, that's why like after 4 it got a little weird. You know, because you had Ezio, you had basically Altair, Ezio got his trilogy. You had like a Kenway duology kind of thing.
Yep.
And then after that, it was like whatever.
Yeah, and when you got into Black Flag, it was all in first person. It was like a nobody because they killed off Desmond at the end of 3, and it was like this is lame. Like
yeah, like the whole real life stuff is so unnecessary.
Well, that's because like they butchered it. Like if it were to have gone as planned,
Desmond's DNA. We can do whatever we want now, kind of thing.
Well, the whole point was that you played as a character Desmond who explored his ancestry and gained powers from his ancestors, like genetic memory. And the only reason why you were chosen is like other people were in these test chambers too, but they were all basically Abstergo Industries was the corporate front for the Templars. And the idea is that they were hunting down pieces of Eden, and they were using genetic memories of test subjects. And a lot of people they couldn't survive it, or they get mental breaks or whatever. But Desmond was able to actually pull skills from his ancestors' genetic memories. And he was able to basically, as he went through all these different epochs in history to, different ancestors, he learned new skills each time. And it made him more dangerous.
Paid it off. They barely paid it off in the games, from what I hear.
Yeah, it was so like that was the idea was that
you get like one sequence with Desmond as an assassin, basically.
Yeah, and the idea was you were supposed to build up Desmond throughout these games, and then the last game was a final showdown with near future dystopian Abstergo where Desmond's pimped out.
Imagine a modern day Assassin's Creed game with Desmond. Let's say it takes place in like San Francisco or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, well, I mean that's what Watch Dogs like, kind of like they're in the same universe and everything, but it's like that's what like it just sucks.
Yeah, like there's an event in Black Flag that bleeds over into Watch Dogs, from what I hear or what I understand.
Yeah, there's references in Watch Dogs to people from Abstergo and stuff, but like it sucks that it's like you saw the original vision, Corey and his team, and then Patrice with all that stuff, and then they just ousted them, pulled all their shit. And then they threw in these other guys that are all about like corporate this and that. And it's like, now you literally had the Hail Mary of the Assassin's Creed game series, the ninjas in Assassins.
This is why Assassin's Creed is so bad. Is because Herman Hunter burped. That's the reason, actually.
But they
wanted to ruin Assassin's Creed.
You ruined the easiest slam dunk in the world, Ubisoft. You literally people have been clamoring for ninjas in the Assassin's Creed stories.
They couldn't
since,
even
like Ezio.
Like they even had a proven winner. Like Black Flag is probably the most like outside of the original first 4 games, like Ezio and Altair, 4 is like the standout. And it's like, okay, let's make a multiplayer pirate game. 10 years later, and it just crashes.
Yeah,
That was another easy win. And it's like you had Skull and Bones proved, Sea of Thieves proved that multiplayer pirate games can work.
yeah. How did Ubisoft regress when they literally had the formula from Black Flag, and they made their quadruple A piece of crap there, and the game, like, people are showing side by side things where they're like, Connor goes off of his ship. No, not Connor. What the hell was the guy's name from
Edward?
Yeah, when Edward gets off his ship and he's going and looking for treasure chests and stuff, and they showed that mechanic and they're like, just replicate that, and then they show what it looks like in their Skull and Bones game, and everything was like dumbed down, and it's like you literally have the animations and everything. You could just rip it off, and you screwed it up somehow.
Just take the AC4 engine, goosey it up, better graphics or whatever.
Make it multiplayer. Yeah. It's so and here's the thing: is there are people.
That's another thing. An Assassin's Creed movie feels like the easiest thing to make because the lore is there, the history is there. It is so easy, and for some reason they I think it was because they wanted the movie to be canon to the games.
Whatever it was they had their own weird animus that was gymnastics or something. It was like a robot arm. It looked like a car assembly robot attached to the guy's back, and he's doing flips and shit. And it's that's not how the animus works. What you're experiencing is inside your head. You're not actually moving around.
Yeah, I
don't know. It's so heartbreaking because I know a lot of very talented people put a lot of work and effort into that. They busted their ass to get that stuff out. And it's all these decision makers at the top that just screwed everything up.
Honestly, here's what I would do for an Assassin's Creed. Western Assassin's Creed. Basically just cowboy shit. Go to California, find an abandoned town, and just shoot there for 3 months. You can give them the wrist blades and just shooting like the cowboys, but the Templars are the sheriffs and the assassins are the outlaws. Seriously, it's that easy.
Well, that's what's so beautiful about that property is you could go to any time period, any epoch, and make an awesome Assassin's Creed story out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings.
At the end of the day, Templars are order, assassins are chaos.
Yep.
Order. It's literally order and chaos, and you can plug that whole thing into anything you want.
Or oppressive law versus dangerous freedom.
Yeah. That's AC3 right there.
Yeah, and they've ruined it so badly, and this is what happens when corporate meddling screws everything up. Dude, I've had meetings where it's I did not want the game to become the piece of Eden of the week. No, I'm that's literally your game.
Here's an idea. What about a World War II Assassin's Creed game where the Yahtzees are Templars and the French Resistance are the assassins?
Yeah. Any of that. Yeah, anything. And you could even go modern, or semi, Vietnam conflict, or Falklands, or
Falkland Assassin's Creed game. Oh God, that would be politically charged.
You imagine the Troubles. Imagine if they made Assassin's Creed the Troubles.
No. Oh gosh, with the IRA being the assassins.
Yeah, that's what it would be. The IRA would be the assassins.
The problem is, that Prince Andrew was involved in the Falklands War, right?
Oh yeah.
So you could actually have him be a quest giver, or you because he would never be an assassination target. That would be way too controversial. Even if he's a piece of shit, I think that'd be too far.
Gotta go to an island with a certain blue and white striped temple to
But yeah, Assassin's Creed Vietnam would be especially imagine oh gosh. These boots are made for what? Honestly, just and you just have the Vietnam soundtrack, but the assassin is a Viet Cong woman.
Wow. You have a VC.
We love you long time.
Oh my god. Oh, me so horny.
Yeah, like that kind of thing.
No loving for soul brother. Too beaucoup.
Oh god, oh god.
Yeah.
Or like imagine like the Iraq-Afghani war,
Yeah.
where like the U.S. government is the Templars. They're trying to guard the heroin, which actually happened.
Yeah. Well, that's like, and that was the thing is like the in the original, like up into the Ezio trilogy, or
There we go. That's the ultimate crossover.
Wayland Yutani, yeah, the aliens versus assassins.
Basically, Utani bought up Sturgo, and the Templars took over. And basically, it's like you have an assassin versus like an assassin versus the predator. That would be a good game. That would be a good game.
An assassin gets nailed by a face hugger, so the xenomorph that comes out, instead of having the hidden mouth thing that shoots out, it's two hidden blades with mouths on his wrists.
A pred assassin.
Yeah.
Insert animal mother quote.
Oh god. We need a fortunate son to play.
It
ain't me. Man.
It ain't me.
Yeah.
I ain't no Templar son.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of the whole like meta story. Like that was the other thing is they wanted like we were talking to them and they're like changing up the meta story where the whole point is it's very simple in Assassin's Creed.
Templars killed Kennedy.
Yeah, there you go.
And blamed it on the assassins.
Well, let's just say that some people killed Kennedy, but it may not have been the Templars. But yeah, so the whole meta of Assassin's Creed was supposed to be Assassins versus Templars. And it was supposed to be Assassins were the dangerous good guys or who are about freedom of, was it everything is permitted or whatever?
Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. See, this is a problem I have with the Assassin's Creed stuff. Is they say that phrase, but it's very clear they have order and structure and honor.
Yeah,
like, literally the whole tutorial section of the first game is like, yes, nothing is true. Everything is permitted, but some things aren't permitted. You got to learn to earn your way back. I thought it was, I think it was like ludonarrative dissonance. I think is the term.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when you're doing something, it's like, how does this further the story? I'm literally told that I'm killing people. What? Yeah. Well, that and the what was his name? Al Mualim was actually a Templar. That Altair's the head of Musayev there, the one that trained him. Yeah, it was like, oh, so he was a double agent. He's one of the bad guys. But like that was the thing. It was like, okay, blue are bad, and they're the Templars. They're oppressive, and they're all about law. And then red is good, and they're about freedom and chaos and all this stuff. And it's like in the third Ezio game, you literally see how your city, like how Turkey improves when you get the Templars out of the sectors of the city. Like it's all run down, and it's kind of like a Democrat city. And then when you get the assassins in there and they kick out all the Templars, suddenly all the shops start opening up again and everything gets clean. And it's like, that's an easy thing to follow. How do you screw this up? And they're like, we will have a love story between a assassin and a Templar. I'm like, why? Oh, that is the story. It's like, then you're missing the point of Assassin's
Yeah,
Creed.
like honestly, there are so many games of like them like Assassin's Creed Rogue is a guy who leaves and becomes a Templar. Assassin's Creed 3, the first hour you're playing as a Templar, you don't even know it.
And Atham, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you guys don't understand. Like, do you know how much shit I had to read in order to even be considered to like work on their narrative team? Like, here's the lore Bible, like the timeline, like this is all canonized shit. Get to it, read it. I'm like, okay, I understand all this stuff. So then they go and it's like, why bother? Because the guys at the top are just screwing around and threw it all out anyways.
That's modern storytelling in a nutshell. It's they have like this hatred for canon, but they still want you to care about the canon. But their version is. But yeah, Ubisoft is very French. But also,
I'm sorry. I just totally made fun of Amar. I didn't even realize it.
Of who?
Amar, the narrative guy. I did not want to sound like I am from France.
But a Cold War Assassin's Creed game would be really freaking cool.
James Bond / Assassin's Creed. Well, MI6 teams up with, but James, you're part of the Templars.
Or honestly, Robin Hood being an assassin.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I already wrote the story for it.
You made that canon.
Yeah, it was his name was Willikin of the Weald, and he's from Kent, and it was during the Barons' War where they King John, the whole writing the signing of the Magna Carta. That was all. Yeah, we wrote that, and you should see our art for Assassin's Creed Robin
All right,
Hood.
1 sec. I need to. Looks like the rat's getting in the blinds. I gotta push things away. Keep going.
All right. Yeah.
No,
We had art.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Keep going. No, the cage was too close to the blinds, and
Oh, he's chewing on the Venetian blinds.
Yeah, so fine. I'll bring you out for a little bit, but just a little bit.
It's like, oh, you're chewing on the plastic, huh?
Yeah, those aren't even mine. That's going to come out of my security deposit.
Oh no.
It's fine, but yep. Here's Charcoal. He's doing good. But yeah. Anyway, you're saying?
Yeah. It sucked, dude, because we had outsourced sweatshop art from China that was doing.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and when they were doing art for Willikin of the Weald, part of my job was, I'd basically draft up concepts or whatever, and then I would send it to our translator, and then she would translate it into Mandarin and send it out to the sweatshop, and we get the stuff back, and I'm like, is that a Manchu style belt or a Han style belt on Willikin of the Weald? He would not have that. He is English, okay? This looks like a Chinese guy, in everything but ethnicity, so they had to go back, and we actually had one point where they quote unquote improved the image, and the image they gave back, we actually liked the original face better than the one that they improved, and it was oh crap, do we chop out that face in Photoshop and move it, But yeah, Robin Hood is technically part of the Assassin's Creed universe.
You made it that way.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, I also had Taka Yamauchi there, and the whole Hattori Hanzo, and they threw all that shit out, dude. That broke my heart. That was the one thing that in this industry I contributed that I could still point to and be like, yeah, I worked on that. And they're like, nope, we need to have Yasuke and the whole, Black Samurai shit.
Honestly, if it just would have been that female ninja, I guarantee the game probably would have been fine.
Well, the problem, in my opinion, I think from a layman's perspective, I think if they were to just have had that female ninja chick, I can't remember her name, the Kunoichi, whatever, but
Yeah.
If they were to have just her, she would have been very similar in regards to Xiao Jun, who is the Chinese assassin that you see at the end of Ezio's life, that gets the Apple of Eden and brings it back to China and liberates China from the I can't remember the Qin dynasty or the.
Yeah, I think there's a whole game about that.
Yeah, and it's if you would have seen her, she had hidden blades in her feet, so she had knife boots and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And I have a feeling that a lot of
All right, answer this question real quick.
Yeah, I spent 10 years in video game development.
He worked in video game development. He worked for Grom's company. He worked on Defiant, and also he worked on a satellite company for Ubisoft.
Yeah, we got contracted out to do a bunch of shit. Flew us out to Japan. We did all sorts of research, and they didn't end up using it.
So you worked on a prototype for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Oh yeah, friggin'! I made this this little bitch post on Twitter, 2 years ago, a year ago, or whatever, where I was
remember
lamenting.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was lamenting how everything that I worked on in the damn industry, because everything is a service, it all got shut down. So I literally didn't have anything to show for the 10 years I wasted in that industry. And I was like, the one thing that I still had was, I wrote this this narrative thing with my team on the Sengoku Jidai period of Japan for an Assassin's Creed game, and they ended up throwing that out, and I made a bitch post about it, and then a couple of YouTubers got a hold of it. Not all of them, because there's some really good YouTubers. Shout out to Endymion. He actually reached out to me, and he's like, I need to confirm this. I can't just say source is trust me, bro. So I let him in on that. But like other people were just like, I'm looking through Twitter. I'm sorry, I'm looking through YouTube, and I see these things like Chris Fisk, former lead designer on Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I never said that. So I had to like write a retraction post, be like, this is exactly what happened. Like, no, some of these people never even talked to me, and they just made up shit.
Oh.
I got doxxed. My texts, my emails are calling me a liar and shit. I'm like, what the hell? I never even said that. Like,
Yeah. So, Lethal Nonsense asked, "How did you like Japan, Chris?"
Loved it. If I could afford to, I'd still be living in the Prefecture of Tokyo right now. Absolutely gorgeous over there.
I want to visit
Although-
at least once in my life.
Dude, it's a culture that respects tranquility, if that makes any sense. Like, you don't make any waves, and I could clearly I would be a hikikomori if I lived there.
Isn't there like a Japanese phrase like the nail that sticks out is the one that gets a hammer?
Yeah. Well, I like the idea that everybody kind of like, you're not supposed to be on your phone when you're riding the subway. You're not supposed to be loud and obnoxious in public and stuff. And that stuff bothers me too. So it's like, I love that kind of sense of like of order and quiet. And I also like how everybody respects each other. Even if it's a forced fake respect, at least you're not going to get catch a bunch of shit when you're trying to a couple of years ago, I was going to get my tires rotated or replaced or whatever at a dealership. And this woman behind the counter feels it's necessary for her to explain to me how the customer in front of me was an asshole, and that she just laid on to me all these problems she had and stuff. And it's like, lady, I don't give a shit. I was nice about it, but you would never see anything remotely close to that in Japan.
Well, speaking of Japan, Hood Raven says, "I want to go one day, but where would you go for the first time?" So, if someone asked you what's a good place to visit first in Japan, what would you recommend? Because for me, I want to make a beeline to Akihabara.
Yeah, Akihabara was really nice, although Sega lost their 3-story arcade.
I think their arcade is still there. They just don't sponsor it.
Yeah. Well, I think they took stuff down too, but again, it's been 10 years since I've been there. I would definitely go to Tokyo, and before before the usual suspects ruin there's other places where they're starting to shut down access from Gaijin. Like, foreigners aren't allowed to go there anymore. What was it? I know there's one place that
for me, I'm sad that they took down the life-size Gundam.
They did. Yeah. So I've never been to Hokkaido. Actually,
I heard Osaka's beautiful.
Yeah, Osaka is beautiful. Well, I don't know. I have some pictures of some really good touristy places, like the Sky Tree, where you can basically try any world beer you want. You get to learn how every nation says cheers in their native language. So
Cafe!
There's a touch screen, and that's how you order the beer. The big touch screen, and it's all these little national flags, and you click German, and then a bunch of beers appear, and as soon as you click the beer that you want, it goes Prost, and all of a sudden, like a pneumatic bank teller machine, little thing comes opening, and your beer comes out, and it's there it is.
Yeah, I don't think I would do a maid cafe, but I know there's cosplay
I've been there.
cafes, where they dress up in costumes. I might do those.
Dude, the maid cafes, yeah. I went. Let's just say that the girl I was with was more into it than me, but yeah, we went to.
I don't know, maybe I do it once just to say I did it, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Central Tokyo, Shibuya, however we say it.
Yeah, Shibuya, Shinjuku, dude. That you're dancing with some. Yeah. Let's just say that's where the that's where a certain group proliferates that you don't.
Yakuza.
Oh yeah, so isn't it?
I know for me, I want to go to the Japan Goodwill, aka Hard Off, which I love that's their name. Because like, if you ever watch videos of like people who like hard off hunting, like oh my god, the stuff that's there,
Yeah.
and reasonably priced too.
One thing I missed out on, and I'm kind of kicking myself for doing it because it's one of those weird experiences that you got to see for yourself, is the Tokyo Fish Market. You go in the morning and you see like insane auctions and sea life, things that you wouldn't even know existed. Like I was like, what the, like seeing some of the photos, yeah.
Oh, Hood Raven, you're from Michigan too? Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. YumaCon is the Detroit Anime Convention. It's I think it's like one of the biggest anime conventions in the United States.
Nice.
Yeah. Shinjuku was cool. I don't know
Yep.
for sure, but I know one of the bars had but the thing about the Yakuza is they're slowly going away because like the Gen Z is not wanting to be a part of it, and like the government put so many restrictions on them, like they can't have bank accounts and whatnot. So it's getting harder and harder to be a Yakuza. So probably like in the next 20, 30 years, they'll all kind of die out.
So funny story about Shinjuku. One of my buddies was showing us around there, and it was me, my producer, this guy who he has a Chinese name, but he's the whitest Asian guy you'll ever meet, and obviously my Japanese coworker, and the four of us were walking through the streets, crowded streets of Shinjuku, and there were these Nigerian barkers at trying to get you into their cafes or whatever. Yes, we got the door, all this stuff. And there's big fat black. The guy was probably about 6'4", 400 pounds, and he's shouting, barking to get us to come in. And he's like, "Yes, my friend, why don't you come in? We've got tits, we've got it all." And my producer,
but do they have ass?
Well, no, my producer looks at me. He's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I'm game. I will like that some tits in my face." And my American coworker who's Chinese, the whitest Asian guy, he's like, I don't feel comfortable going in there. We're like, oh, okay, well then we won't go. This is a company thing, So my producer's like, sorry, man, one of us can't go. And the Chinese guy speaks up. He's like, yeah, we got more important things to do. Sorry. And the guy shouts at us from across the street, has this bewildered look on his face, and he goes, "What could be more important than tits?"
I mean, he's got a point there. He's got a point.
Oh yeah, dude, the Nigerians selling weed. Yeah, bud, I got some weed.
Yep. As long as they aren't trying to tell me about their cousin, the Nigerian prince.
Yeah, oh yes. Give me your email address.
Give me your social security number.
No, dude, one thing that I went to, which was really awesome, was in the what district was it? I want to say it was shit. I can't remember what district it was. It was right on the river near one of the the Kirin beer factories. They had an Obon festival, and if you've ever seen Karate Kid 2, remember all the lanterns and everything?
Oh,
and
yeah.
I recorded it, and it was freaking amazing, dude. Like, I can't remember exactly where it was, but I got photos of it, and it was gorgeous.
I pretend to not know English. My girlfriend and I spoke Spanish to get out of the situation.
Lo siento, no hablo inglés.
Of course, the people with the breast. Oh, just had to make it up.
No, yeah.
What are we in Thailand?
Yeah, I don't think there was ladyboys there, but who knows? He doesn't even know.
But yeah, Hooded Raven. I know who you are now. I gotcha.
Man, did you ever see that clip of Rachel Ziegler? Who's the chick that played Wednesday Addams there?
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, Jenna Ortega, and then the blonde with the hammerhead shark eyes, the one that voiced Peach in the
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy. The three of them together, okay? They're all Latinas, okay? Anna Taylor-Joy she's the whitest white of white because let's just say her ancestors came from Germany, okay? and she's from Argentina or whatever. And it was absolutely hilarious that you had Ortega and Ziegler, and they're all pushing for like Latina this and like we brown this and Latino that and everything. And literally, Anna Taylor-Joy was the only one out of that group that could speak Spanish fluently.
Oh, wow.
And it was like, you're like pushing this whole thing about like Hispanic this or whatever, and it's like you don't even speak the language. And I was like, come on, like,
Jen Ortega, she's pretty attractive.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah.
See, like, and the problem I have is they're doing Wednesday season 2, and like it's supposed to take place like the next year kind of thing, but they've all aged like 3 to 4 years in between.
Yeah, oops.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with the Stranger Things cast. They've aged 10 years in like 3 years.
Yeah, that's rough. They're all adults now. Like, what's her face? Millie Bobby Brown is this like smoke show.
Oh god, she looks like she's freaking 40.
Well, yeah, but she's still like she doesn't look like a little kid anymore.
Well, the problem with it is if she was friends with Drake.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she caught was it one of Drake's fruit pies?
I would not be surprised if she attended some Diddy parties.
Oh God, it sucks because like we literally watched that girl grow up before our eyes. She was like a 10-year-old or whatever in the first episode.
Yeah, like you go back and watch season 1. She's like just so tiny.
Yeah, and now she's just like, dude, she's got a kick and bod. That girl, man. Mother Nature was kind to her.
Well, it's genetics and the ability to hire the best trainers in the industry.
Yeah, and nutritionists, and yeah, God, she probably has her own personal like chef and everything.
Probably.
That must be nice. I can't remember the last time I had like well-made food. You know what I mean?
Oh,
it's like everything I can get away with cooking.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Oh gosh, yeah.
Can you throw it on top of the stove and let it boil? Can you stuff it in the microwave or slam it into the oven?
Or it's like so I have a bunch of salts, I have some taco sauce, I have some hot dogs, and I have ramen noodles. Let me just mix together some sort of ramen noodle cook up, kind of thing. And then it's like, this is kind of good. It's literally the most disgusting thing you've ever had. But it tastes good because you're hungry.
Yeah, what is it? Hunger is the greatest spice of all.
Yeah. He's asking if you were a dev.
Oh yeah. I was a various types of game designer from 2004 through 2014.
All right, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. So
yeah,
if you liked us, please give us a like, comment, subscribe, membership if you can. Tomorrow we will be starting a new game playthrough, playing Star Wars Knights of the Republic. That's gonna be pretty awesome.
Hell yeah.
On Sunday we'll be doing extra credits, talking about the rise and fall of Xbox. And if you are in the Metro Detroit area, I will be at the Downriver Comic-Con in Lincoln Park at the high school. So Hood and Raven, if you want to come see me buy some of my comics, just drive down to Lincoln Park. I'll be there tomorrow and Sunday. Yeah. And Tuesday we'll be doing some more Golden Sun. So yeah. Chris, anything you want to say?
Yeah, man. Check us out at InfiniteTaleChronicles.com. My campaign
and
is
on
still
Indiegogo.
Funding. Yeah, my campaign Infinite Tale Chronicles #2 is currently funding on Indiegogo, and we may have blown through the first 3 stretch goals, but I'm going to be introducing some more to help the campaign.
That is a good problem to have.
Hell yeah, yeah. So yeah, later on tonight I'll be over on Zaid Studios, the Diaz brothers, or at least Phil. So yeah, check me out there. I'll be shilling Infinite Tale Chronicles there. And yeah, thanks for having me, man.
And thank you for buying my comics. Just know Screeching number 4 is coming this October, so if you want to finish that fight. And the KOTOR stream starts at 8 o'clock, so if you want to see me go to the dark side, that's what you got to do. So thank you, Chris. I'll see you next week, and thank you, everybody. And remember, I can let you through the door. You're the ones that walk through it.